on this. Here we go. All right, talk to me. How are we feeling?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Pretty good. Good.
Have you felt good like 100% the whole time, or has anything bothered you at any point?
No?
Nothing? Nobody frustrated at all on the ice ever? A little bit, so-and-so, yeah.
Sometimes.
Okay, let's think of it in terms of, we get a little more specific. Let's think of the position you play. Are there any goalies in the building today?
Yeah.
So we got Zamudio, we got
Yep.
Popovsky, good stuff, man. What and Maddie, nice. What things might you be frustrated with as a goaltender? If you're thinking about the games that you played, maybe the last 5 games, is there anything that irked you, or you've been upset with yourself or maybe a teammate? Maybe if you're willing to share, you could drop it in the comment box, or if you want to put your hand up and just give me one thing that you might want to work on, or something you'll want to improve on. Any of the goalies want to share something? Like rebound control, or is it like communicating with your D? What else you want to improve?
Playing the puck.
Playing the biscuit. Okay, now what does that entail? Like if it just comes out and you handle it and you pass or direct it into the corner, or what specifically?
Like if we're on the power play and they ice it, like setting it for my D.
Okay, that's a nice little thing. Now, have you made mistakes in the past like that before?
Yeah, like a couple times.
Yeah. And how does that make you feel?
Pretty bad because it's like an easy goal that you could have saved.
Yeah. There's a few, not to put, I won't say names or anything, but there's a few goalies out there that have come out to play the puck and flubbed it, especially one in the OMHAs. It was kind of scary. I remember being in the stands watching it, but he recovered well like he normally does, but and I see a few people smiling because it's all good. Happens to the best of us too. All right, what about defensemen? Anything you want to improve on? How many of you play D? Raise your hand. Nice. All right. Anything that you've done well, or you want to celebrate, or something you want to kind of tweak going forward as we enter into playoffs? What do you think? Anybody got anything off the top of their head? Because like when I train the defense, or if I'm on the ice, we're talking about good shoulder checks as we're entering back into our zone, because we've got a lot of people that are pressuring us now. Making good outlet passes, trusting our subconscious mind to make good decisions. Is that triggering anything else? Any other defensemen with good plays or bad plays, or things you want to improve on?
Like good pinches.
Good pinches. Okay, so that has to do a lot with reading the play and anticipating, right? And you'll hear me talk about committing and being assertive. Does anybody know what commitment or assertive means? What does it mean to commit to something? Do you go in 50%?
Force.
Pardon me? Say, who was that?
To go in full force, basically.
To go in full force. Yeah, commit to what you're going to do. If you're going to make a decision and you're going to trust your skills, go, especially in a pinch, right? You can see a puck come around or a loose battle, 50-50, and you want that puck. You got to commit to it and be assertive. So that's a good point. How about forwards? Any of you make mistakes lately, or
All the time.
all the time? Exactly, right? That's why we keep talking about this stuff. Thank you, Hunter. What kind of mistakes are we making? I know I've got my own players on the call here. I see some of you get frustrated for certain reasons. What are those reasons?
Missing the puck when you're like breakout.
Mm-hmm.
Bad chip.
Bad shift. Okay, so let's break that down. What does a bad shift mean? Because it's a big general comment, right? As hockey players, we tend to do that. We want to paint the brush with one big comment. Oh, I had a terrible game, or a whole bad shift. What mistake specifically might we be making if we're having a quote unquote bad shift?
Turning over the puck.
Turnovers. Yeah. Marcus, what do you think, buddy?
Maybe not moving our feet when we got the puck and missed the pass.
That's right. What was the first point before that one? Turning over the puck. Is that what someone said?
Yeah, turning over the puck.
Yeah. Turnover puck. So to tie Nick's point in with Marcus, we talk a lot about setting yourself up for success. So if you're a winger and you see a D coming out from behind your net, what should you be doing as the winger? Right.
Telling like the D what to do or like calling for it.
Calling for it, but before you calling for it, what should your intention be? How can you be assertive? Where should you be going?
Moving.
Movement, right? Where? If a D's coming around the net, when you're a winger, where should you be moving to?
The boards to open up for a pass.
You got it, right? So you have to commit and be assertive to getting there and setting yourself up for success. Sometimes we're watching. Wow, there's the D. He's going around the net. Cool, cool. Wow, look at him go. Oh, now he's got no outlet pass, and I'm supposed to be the one that's helping him. So if you set yourself up for success and you get to the wall first, you pivot your toe caps. Do we know what toe caps are? The tips of your toes, right? They have the caps on your skates. Toe caps north, I always say. Pivot, toe caps north, and then present a stick. You set yourself up for that success, and the defenseman can make that outlet pass. So again, if you're having a bad shift, these are things that contribute to the poor shift. And then you come back to the bench. And what happens mentally when you get back to the bench?
You start getting down on yourself.
Yeah, you start getting ticked off, right? It's the same thing with a goalie or a defenseman. Any player, if you make a mistake, you start to ruminate on it, which means think about that mistake over and over and over again. Now, this doesn't necessarily pertain to goalies, but players, they go back to the bench and they shift down. And as they get closer and closer to the gate, what are they worrying about?
Making the same mistake.
Exactly, Hunter, making about the same mistake. So now we're beating ourselves up in the past for making the mistake. And now we're fretting about making the same mistake when we're out there. Where are we mentally? Are we in the past, the future, the present, a combination of all three? Where are we? If you're fretting about a mistake that you made, are you in the past?
Pass.
Past.
Past.
If you're worried about a future mistake, where are you?
The future.
Yeah. So how do you play a game when you're fretting about what's done or what you're worried about that hasn't happened? Does that make sense to any of you? Doesn't make sense to me. So there's a big word that we'll talk about going forward too. It's called mindfulness. We've heard mindfulness before, probably in some schools and on TV and that sort of stuff. Does anyone want to take a stab at what mindfulness means? Marcus, what do you think, bud?
Like being aware of your surroundings.
That's a great answer, man. Be aware of your surroundings. Yeah. Anybody else? What does it mean to be mindful?
Being in the present moment.
To focus on the present.
Focus on the present. Who said that? Sorry.
Me, Hunter.
Perfect. Great answer. So mindfulness is all about being in the present moment without judgment. Judgment is beating yourself up, like versus don't like, want, don't want, need, don't need, and labeling stuff. No more labels. Being in the present moment without judgment. So if you make a mistake, being able to let it go and not worrying about future mistakes. That makes sense? All right. So is there anything else that you want to share there about how you're doing, your feedback? Is there anything you want to improve on mentally off the top of your head so that you can give me some feedback and I can maybe put together some stuff going forward? Not off the top of your head? It's okay that we feel this way if we don't know the answers. We've never been taught it before. I do talks with U18 teams. I do talks with professional players, one-on-one with OHL players. Guess how much they've been taught about the mental game? Zero. They'll just stare at me like, I don't know. What happens when something goes wrong? I go, I don't know. What do you do? Work harder. They don't know. So if we don't know answers, it's all good. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change my view to speaker. And I'm going to minimize that. I'm still getting the hang of this Zoom thing because I want to make hold on one sec. I can make me the spotlight. There we go. Like that. Okay, I'm going to share my screen here. Let me know what you see in a second. I'm in this whole Zoom. There we go. All right. Zoom. All right. Let me know when you can see my little presentation popping up.
I can see it.
Good. All right, beauty. What else do you see on your screen for me? Do you see any of the pictures in the right, or is it just my whole presentation?
Yeah, I see 4 people, you in the slideshow.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
I see you in the slideshow.
Just me? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
just you.
still trying to iron that out in terms of and where do you see me? Am I pinned in the top right?
Yes.
Does it make a difference if I do that
Top left.
versus this? How many are there now?
Still you.
Just
Still
me?
you. Still
Perfect.
you.
I have 4 people in my bottom right corner.
So social. All good, man. We'll get through this. All right. So everybody knows me. There are some new people on the chat. So for those of you that are new, this is what I do, certified mental skills coach. I used to play pro hockey. Always wanted to play in the NHL. Wasn't good enough to get there. Maybe close though. Big body, 6'4", 225, and played center and could skate and had a good brain for the game. So that kind of helped me along the way. I do these chats through Hockey Equality and obviously Mentally Charged here to help kids get better. Been a school teacher for 20 years. I coach AAA hockey and I am a hockey dad. So I wanted to do this little presentation for you kids because we are entering into what time of the year? Summer?
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Playoffs. Everybody starts freaking out at playoffs, right? Do we get nervous come playoff time?
A bit. A bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. So probably way more than you realize because we put that pressure on ourselves because it's do or
Die.
you hear this saying. You got it, man. We hear this saying do or die all the time. But the problem is that you athletes, and not just you, all athletes, especially hockey players, are not well enough equipped to handle the pressure and the stress within the game, especially during these playoffs run. Now, before we get into some of the things that I see during playoffs, I always like to do a little reboot, a little quick review, so we know what we're struggling with. And again, as we enter playoffs, this is a big thing. Our confidence, if the other team's peppering us, if the other team is more physical than we are, we tend to not be as confident, not feel as capable. And we start to worry about losing because if we lose, we're out. My season's over. Very upsetting. But you're not alone. 500 hockey players here are working through slumps and nerves and focus and confidence. It's totally normal. That's another big piece here. We're trying to normalize this for you so that you don't feel strange. Nobody used to talk about this stuff when I played. Nobody cared about your feelings. Now we do. We care about how you're feeling because if you feel good, you play well. So as we enter into playoffs, kids, what are your pain points? So pain points are all the things that you might be struggling with. But before we can help, let's just do a quick review here. We'll just kind of graze through these here. All right. So again, when things go wrong, we tend to doubt ourselves. And I've said this before. You've all played hockey for a very, very long time. Some of you started skating when you were probably 3. If you had a crazy parent, you were probably on the ice at 2, which is awesome. Trusting your skill set means that you need to understand your brain again, right? When we have a neuron and you learn something new, there's a connection that's made. right? And the more that you think a thought, the more that you practice a skill, the faster this connection happens, the more frequently it happens, and the more it's solidified, the more you learn that. And once you master it, it goes from being a prefrontal cortex skill to a spinal cord skill, and it becomes automatic. So when I drive, it's an automatic skill for me because I've driven since I was 17. There's times where I'm on the highway, and you'll be the same way if you're in the passenger seat cruising, do, and then you come to, you're like, holy cow, we're here already? I don't even remember driving the last half an hour. Scary to think about, but your brain is like a computer program. It's all programmed in there. You've mastered the skill of driving, just like you hockey players. You've mastered the skill of playing and skating. All these things happen automatically. So understand that your brain is a computer program. Understand that it's going to work for you, and trust your skill set. Consciously, we're all aware that Coach Corey's here doing this presentation with you. You know, I'm moving my hands like this. I'm talking about trust and your abilities that you've hardwired into your brain since you were a little player. Subconsciously are all the things that we're not aware of that happen automatic, just like hockey. Come out from behind the net, make an outlet pass. Those things happen automatically. You go in a breakaway and someone's all over you and with back pressure, and you go to make a move. The move is made most times without conscious thought. Or if you take a one-timer and you shoot and score, or goalies, you reach and you make a save, all of these things happen automatically. And it's because of the skills that we've hardwired into our brain. Does that make sense? So when things go wrong and you start to doubt yourself, do yourself a favor and say, okay, thank you, brain. I'm going to trust myself. I'm going to trust that I've trained what I've worked hard, I've prepared, and I'm good to go. Okay. All right. Next little review is this, again, as we enter into playoffs, and we'll go through these quick slides here. In reality, yes, I mean, if you are eliminated from games, your season's over. Now, is that the right way to think about these games and how you play? Absolutely not. We don't want you going into these games playing do or die, because if you do, you end up playing tight, burdened, overwhelmed, and stressed. And we don't want you to have that mindset. We want you to be free, but not carefree. So playing free means not worrying or having the thoughts and the overwhelming stress that's involved in the game. Just understand that it's there, it's normal, and then just try to play, just be in the moment, like that mindfulness that we talked about. And if you catch yourself worrying about past mistakes or fretting about future ones, you can say to your brain, thanks, but no thanks. I know you're trying to, it's a self-preservation thing, and they're trying to prevent you from not feeling a certain way or not being afraid or fearful or not wanting to make mistakes, but it's a hockey game. Hockey is filled with mistakes. So yes, we get nervous. Understand that's normal. Feel excited about those feelings. Playoffs are the best time of the year, and play free. Okay, we with me so far? Good. All right. All right. Here's another problem that we see, that we want results immediately. So I'm talking to players that are struggling because playoffs have started for some teams and they're not getting as much ice. The coaches are tightening the bench, and players want to play right now. And we might need to understand, and this has to do with managing our expectations, which is the next slide. We might not fully be there yet. And what's the most important word on that screen? Can someone unmute and tell me?
Yet.
Yet. Are you playing in the NHL yet? Nope.
No.
No playing junior hockey yet?
No.
No.
Maybe one or two on the call. Are you playing U18 yet? Maybe, but not yet for most of us. Are we in our draft year yet? Do we have player agents yet? Have we talked to scouts yet? Have we
No.
mastered all of the skills of hockey? Like, you know, a jab step while you protect the puck on your outside edge, while shoulder checking, while fighting off somebody physically, separating yourself from that person, taking the puck to the net, scoring. Are we all doing those things all the time? No, not yet. Think of all the skills that you're learning. Your brain is trying to put them all together. Okay, a lot of us are not there yet. Okay, and skills aside, we also have to deal with all of the stress and adversity and all the external things that you're dealing with yet. your coach's perception of you, your parents' perception of you, poor refereeing, a better player on another team. All of these variables are pushing you. So you might not be ready yet. Okay. So there are going to be situations in games like power play and PK and last minute of the ice and starting rotations for goalies or whatever it is. If it's not you that gets the tap from the coach, that's a red flag. It should be a red flag for you to go, okay, I'm not going to compare to other people and complain, well, he on the ice, he's better, I'm better than him. What the heck? We're not going to do that. We're going to choose to say, okay, this is a red flag. I haven't been chosen in this situation. I might not be there yet. So what's next? If I look inward, I need to talk to your mental skills coach, your video guy or girl. You need to talk to your coach. What is it that I'm missing? What do I need to work on in order to be the player that gets the opportunity? Okay, so understand that you're not there yet in all of these situations, and then talk about what it is that you need to do to be somebody that in that situation. Is that good for everybody? And that's one of the hardest skills to do. Looking inward, not pointing the finger, because again, I hear it all the time. So-and-so's playing more than I'm playing and I'm better. And the coach is, that's his favorite and all this. Excuse, excuse, excuse. Everyone just points the finger, compares themselves, complains, feels crummy, goes home angry. All these things don't work. Okay? And that's a huge lesson for you. The power of yet. You're not there yet. It's coming. Keep working towards something. Good? All right. And again, we learned all about this, our brain being threatened. And this is playoff problem number 1. And we've got 10 of them. So we're going to go through here. Number 1 is that, of course, our brain thinks it's being threatened. Playoff time, we're all intense. We're all worried, do or die. We're going to, we don't want to lose. Again, when I did this for you, remember the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. This brain representation, it's perfect, really. When you start to get stressed or you perceive things as overwhelming, thinking part of the brain goes bye-bye. The emotional centers of the brain kick in. You start to freak out, get a little bit nervous, butterflies, all that stuff. That's just that fight or flight. Remember, it's that fight or flight kicking in. The brain is inside the skull. It's just relying on you looking out and being frustrated and then sending it back messages going, oh God, playoffs, do or die. Oh, we're playing against Quinny or whoever we're playing against, top team. We might lose. We might be out. The season might be over. And then the brain goes, huh? All right, time to go. We don't need to do that. So one strategy I wanted to give you today is focusing on preparation. When we prepare, we are very confident. We've done everything you need to do. And that starts well before you get to the rink. And this is a huge mindset talk, a huge mindset piece. The OHL players that I talk to, first round draft picks, they do a lot of journaling. They do a lot of stretching. They do a lot of yoga the day before, writing down what they want to, what kind of the part of the process do they want to focus on? What are they going to bring to the table next day? They're eating well, they're drinking well, and they're going to bed. And we'll get into bedtime a little bit later in this presentation. But they are focused on being prepared. The preparation piece helps your mind go, okay, it settles it down. The emotional centers of the brain, this amygdala, it settles it down because we are prepared. We've done what we are supposed to do. We are ready. All right. So focus on preparation. That is number 1. All right. Playoff problem number 2. Who can read number 2 for me? Perfect.
We play like individuals, long changes, toe drags.
Ugh. Doesn't this stuff just give you chills? It does for me as a coach. We play like individuals because, not your fault totally. Your parents tell you you're awesome. You watch TV and you see awesome. You want to be awesome. Everybody would love to score the OT goal or get a shutout. Everybody wants the accolades and that feeling, where everybody's, go. Everybody wants those feelings. We all want to be game changers. But again, if we tweak our mindset, and as a coach, I say this to the players too, like if we can understand that we're all pieces of the puzzle, you all bring something to the table, then together, collectively, we can get some expectations and win. But what we see all too often is players trying to leave their zone and just before the blue line, trying to toe drag around a defenseman. Good defensemen go, nope. You know, keep the puck in, turnover, momentum changes. Your line's pinned for another 40 seconds. Everybody's exhausted. That changes the momentum of the game. Conversely, on the other end, you're entering into the zone. You have the puck. Two of your line mates have changed. It's now 1-on-2 with 2 back checkers. So it's actually 1-on-4. And you try to toe drag, right? Or you try to, put it underneath his stick and come out the other side and come back. It's just a selfish play in that situation. Long changes is another one too. When we're out there and we're, offensively, especially in the offensive zone, we're out there, we're feeling good. We're almost going to score. We're there. And we're not peeling off to come with fresh legs. Again, it's a huge, huge problem. We are selfish. All of you children, as you enter into playoffs, need to buy into your team's identity, your team's system, and their level of effort. Now, my team has built an identity all year long. We have worked on our offensive zone identity all year long. We've done drills every single day that help facilitate and build our offensive identity. Attacking, isolating defensemen, chipping to support, chip to self, entering the zone, button hooks, punching the puck from one side to the next, low to high, side to side, all of the things that help encourage and build our community and our identity as a team. And when players don't buy into that, it's super frustrating as a coach. And when you get to the next level, those coaches are going to be like selfish, doesn't want to buy into the system. So I implore you, which means I encourage you kids to really, really listen to what your coaches are telling you. What is it that they want from you? Remember, you're a piece of the puzzle and you bring certain things to the table, but we have to listen to what they are preaching and what they want, because it's for the greater good, especially in playoffs. Are we good there? Buy into the system, buy into your team's identity. Be a good teammate. Let's listen to this Edmonton Oiler run. They went on a run lately. They had a ton of success. And let's listen to why they had success. Tell me if you can't hear the video, okay?
It's become impossible to beat the last 5 weeks. Because the star players have really bought into playing strong defensive hockey away from the puck, and it's really noticeable in their game. And this is the standard that has been set now with the Oilers, and this is what makes them different than the Oilers that we've seen in the past. It's McDavid, it's Draisaitl, and there's way more urgency for them to play in the defensive zone to get back on back checks. And they've realized the more they do that, the more they can ignite their offensive game. In fact, playing better defensively and having a little more urgency to play well defensively, that doesn't take away from their offense. It adds to it. And now that they're doing it, they're not cheating the play. They're not saying, you guys got to do it and you got to get the puck to us. They're the ones leading the charge. Now everyone is involved. Everyone has to follow suit. So this is an Edmonton Oilers team that looks very different. It looks very different because of the standard that's being set defensively by the best players on the team.
Yeah, I'm going to stop sharing there so I can see you. What did you think of that? I'll go to gallery. What did you think of that clip? Could y'all hear it? Yeah, wicked. What do you think of that clip? How many games did the Oilers win in a row?
I think 11.
16.
16.
18.
Good guess, so Cole, buddy. Yeah, they won, I think, 16 in a row. Was it just about offense?
No.
No.
Not at all. What did the announcer talk about? What was building the offensive momentum? The Oilers were
Defensive by the best players. Strong in their defensive zone.
It has to be a commitment, a full commitment, kids, to defensive zone coverage. It can't be like, I'm going to do a little bit of defense so I can chip it and go on offense. That's not how it works. And it's buying into the system. It's everybody doing it as well. Everybody back checking, good stick lifts, supporting weak side, being in the right spot, active twigs, and then getting on your horse when you leave that zone. Can you boys and girls commit to that this playoff season? Doing what you're supposed to do. I love it.
Yeah.
Let's go back to
Yeah.
Sharon. Got a couple of good clips. Does anybody have any questions so far? No? We okay? We're liking this stuff? I can be more animated if you want. Here we go. Let's go back to Sharon here. We'll see how we do here. Let me know when you can see him.
Oilers become impossible.
I can see it.
Oilers become impossible to beat.
You did that slide. I got to move on. Here we go. All right. What crummy player do you see on the screen now?
Mikhail
He's all right. Do or die. Nervous and excitement, same thing. It's all about perception, right? We've gone over this before. It's not do or die. Don't play tight. Don't play shy. Just play free. Go. Okay. I'll give one of my players some props right now. Brycey's played up a couple times in the U14s, and he has just played free. He's not carefree. He's not running around with his head cut off, but he is playing free. He's assertive and he's going, and you can tell he's having success at that level because of that, that relentless, I want the puck. And he's just been doing very well. So kudos to you, Bryce.
Happy Bryce.
Yeah. And he's not choosing to see it as nervous, though, too. That's the big thing. He's going into this thinking, wow, this is cool. Good excitement. I'm not nervous at all. I'm ready to go. I want that puck. That's a huge mindset thing. Good job. All right. Now, this is playoff number 4. Happens to the best players in the world. The best players worry about scoring. Now, we heard about this a couple months ago. Might have been last month, right? Who was in a slump for 10 games? Good old Johnny boy, homegrown boy here. 10-game slump. He didn't score. 10 games. The captain of the Maple Leafs and the leading scorer of Vancouver, Brock, in slumps. Let me say that again. 2 of the best players in the NHL, the best league in the world, are in slumps, scoring goals. 16 games between the 2 of them. And what happens? John Tavares ends up scoring. And what happens? 6-game slump for Brock. I watched Sportsnet the next morning, and he got a hat trick the next day. Solution is trust this game. It will come. We need to trust the process. Even the top boys are experiencing ups and downs. Okay, so next time you're in a slump or you don't feel like you're contributing or you haven't scored in 2 or 3 games or 4 or 5, rely on the process. Keep doing the little things that you're doing because it will eventually come. Just like it did for these guys, it will for you. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a real life example of players that are struggling that have bounced back. Okay. Remember this guy? This was just recent in the news. He got drafted and selected by the Philadelphia Flyers, and he thought, well, I don't want to play there. And he went all selfish. Maybe he had some good reasons. I don't know. But it came across as very selfish. I don't want to play there. Just like Eric Lindros did back in the day. I don't want to go. Nope. Right? And in playoffs, we have to play for the crest on the front and not the name on the back. It's not about how many goals you score specifically to pad your stats. We're not there yet. It's not draft year to the OHL or USHL in the States or Division I. We're not there yet. Buying into the system means playing for the team, blocking shots, getting in shot lane, active sticks, moving your feet, good line changes, staying in a penalty box, all those good things. We start getting selfish when we do the other things, when we don't back check with purpose. We're on the ice for too long. A puck comes around and we're supposed to chip it out and the defense pinches and beats us to it. Those are all selfish plays. You might not think they're selfish, but they're selfish. When you get beat along a wall, that's a selfish play because you didn't get there first. You didn't lean on your stick. You didn't get the puck out. You didn't set yourself up for success like we talked about earlier. Those are selfish player moves because we know that it's lazy. We know that it's a player without commitment to getting that puck out. There's a huge difference. A player that goes and is assertive and wants that puck out in a danger zone, the top of the ring out line to blue line in your own zone, and a player that kind of saunters over and tries to do a little chip and go around. Everybody knows that that's a selfish play. versus a player that busts his hump to get there, plows through the right route, maybe bumps the defenseman off his, bearing a little bit, and then F2 comes by and gets that puck and the puck's out of your own zone. That's a commitment in playing for the crest on the front. So remember that. Playoff problem number 6 is we play with the fear-based mindset. Again, this has to do with this do or die stuff, right? When we think the season could be over, we tend to go in playing not to lose, which is a big difference between playing to win. You have to play with an attack mindset. Now, I'm going to show you a clip of my Jennies and their attack mindset. And I cut this vid for my team because I wanted to show them what it looked like to move your feet. And it's just a clip about 2 or 3 players that are hustling, and you can see them hustle. This is what it looks like to play with an attack mindset. Okay, so we're in the red. We're playing up against Barrie. And let's just watch the forwards, the 3 of them, boogie. Off the wall, we get a shot on net. Here we go. Hustle number 1. Pursuing. Watch Westy. Boom, 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 boom. Right to the wall. We keep it in. Okay, another player right over the wall, hustling. Okay, so a good example of moving your feet and hustling, that attack mindset. So make sure you get after it when you're out there today. Don't sit there and kind of scope out and, what's the defenseman going to do or what can I do? Go. Same thing with goalies. Get after it. Play big. Cut your angle off. Work on your rebounds. Communicate with your D. Play big. Play like a boss, right? Here's another compare and contrast that we'll get into. I'm not sure if we're going to do it next month or the month after, but we will deal with alter egos. And this is just a quick clip to show you the difference between your real self and your false self. Everybody thinks that the guy on the left is your true self. Clark Kent hides himself. He plays safe. He's comfortable. He doesn't want anyone to know who he really is. And he puts his glasses on. He just goes to a 9-to-5 job and he's safe. The reality is that Superman is you. It's your true self. You're courageous. You're assertive. You can be a rock star. We have to act like it. And we'll help you build out that alter ego in one of the next sessions we do. Playoff problem number 7. It relates to a slide that we worked on earlier. It's unrealistic expectations. I'll be okay. We expect things to just go poo. It doesn't work. 1 minute we're good. 1 minute we get a penalty. Next minute a goal goes in. Next minute 3 goals go in. I give away a puck. I get beat. I lose a battle. My coach is yelling at me. My parents are frustrated. There's no call on the ice. Parents go nuts in the stands. Come on, ref. There are so many ups and downs in this game, especially in playoffs. You have to manage your expectations. And this one really ties back into the power of yet. If you want to be a part and a piece of your puzzle and you're not there yet, understand it's coming. Okay? It's coming. You don't have to beat yourself up or feel sorry for yourself. Feel good about your progress. Even if not, you're not the one that gets tapped for the power play or that last minute. Just manage your expectations so that you're not crushed if you're not the one that's called. And understand too, it's a process. It's a process. It's going to be up and down. And that's a cool little slide that I built. Can everybody see the whole slide, or is my face in the way? Can we see the whole slide?
Yeah.
Okay. So problem number 8 is that players and goalies too, you could tie in attendees and defensemen as well. We focus on the misses. Okay. All we do is focus on the misses. Now, how many shots would you get in a game? Cole McMahon, what do you think, buddy? How many shots would you average in a game? Maybe 3, maybe 4?
Yeah, maybe like 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, somewhere in that mix, right? How long does it take you to shoot a puck?
Like a couple seconds.
Bingo. So if you got 3 shots and it takes you 6 seconds total, or 2 seconds each, 6 seconds to take those shots, and you play 45 minutes or a 40-minute game, whatever it is, If you take away the 6 seconds that you shot and missed those shots, how much time are you left with?
44 minutes and 54 seconds.
Yeah. So we're going to let 6 seconds dictate the rest of the 44 minutes and 54 seconds. We're going to let it dictate because that's what players do. That's what athletes do. They focus on the misses and they get all upset and nose at a joint and frustration because they've missed a goal or an opportunity to score. The game is very long. So this is just a nice visual for you to understand what it is we're talking about and how we need to focus on the rest of the 44 minutes and change. What else are we doing without the puck? I think the average player touches the puck less than a minute in a game. So what are you doing the rest of the game? So stop beating yourself up, manage your expectations, understand that you're going to miss, and it can't affect your effort, okay? Or your mindset for the rest of this game. With me? Thumbs up? All right. We're coming into the last couple slides here. Hang tight. This is another one for coaches too, and you need to be aware of it. Number 9, playoff number 9, your body language screams. Oh my goodness, it screams, right? You make a mistake on the ice and you smash your stick. I don't ever want to put you on the ice again, right? Or you roll your eyes, or when you get pulled off, or you're on the bench and you're sitting and everyone else is standing up. Your body language screams. When you get frustrated on the ice and you lose your mind or you take a silly penalty, all you're doing is telling the coach that you can't be on the ice. You're actually saying to the coach, take me off. Take me off the ice. I can't handle everything that's going on right now. I don't have the capacity to deal with this environment right now. Take me off. It screams, everybody. So stop being selfish. Manage your body. Manage your eyeballs. Manage your head and your shoulders. Manage your thoughts. I can do this. I'll bounce back. I got this. And again, we'll build out a reset routine. It's coming as well. But be a better teammate, because if you start snapping, you look super selfish. And everybody reads that player just cares about him or herself. They don't care about the team right now. Okay, this is a big slide. So let's focus on the body language. Playoff problem number 10. Again, this ties into accurately assessing. It ties into the power of yet and body language. So when you don't accurately assess yourself, so if you don't judge your own ability well, you start immediately comparing yourself to everybody else and complaining to everyone, and your parents start to complain and you all get frustrated. You'll just spiral. You just end up spiraling. And the result is it takes you offline for way too long. It takes you offline for way too long, sometimes days, right? You don't accurately assess. You go into a game. You don't play as much as you thought you should. You don't play as well as you thought you should. You come home, you're upset. Your parents are upset. Your parents are calling the coaches. The coaches are now ticked off. The coaches don't have faith in you. Everyone's pointing the finger. You know, we got to wait 24 hours. We get frustrated. And the whole time, it could have been all avoided if we just looked in the mirror and thought, this is a red flag if I'm not on the ice or not doing really well. I'm clearly not having as much success as some of these other players in these situations. I need to look in the mirror. What's missing with me? What can I do? How can I be proactive in my learning journey? How can I remain positive for the team? What it is that I can do? What is it that I can do, rather? Okay, so look in the mirror. Okay, look in the mirror. And that is problem number 10. Now, I don't know if we need to go over this slide. It's a pretty good one, though. This is through the coach's lens. All right. And coaches tend to play players in the confident bucket, the ones that work hard, the ones that they trust to produce. Okay. The ones that they trust to produce. The one in the middle, most of us fall into this middle where we have a belief in you. We believe that you're capable. There's some hard work there. And sometimes you produce. Sometimes you show glimpses of being great. And other times you're like, okay, wasn't quite there today. And then the third bucket, unfortunately, some players and parents fall into this bucket where there isn't much work ethic and we don't really produce. We don't really have successes and we're not, outworking the other team or other players. And then we still think we're great. No, that's delusion. No, this is through the coach's lens as well. And I will stop sharing there. But when we're talking about those things, about through a coach's lens, I'll just paint one scenario for you. We got 10 minutes left and I'm going to stay on and we'll do some Q&A. If people want to stick around and ask some questions, we can do that. But last minute of a game, you're down 1 goal and the coach calls a timeout, which I just did last game. We were playing against Cal. We were down 5-4. We needed to tie up the game. Call a timeout. I look at my bench and these are all coaches are doing the same thing. And we're thinking, what players can we trust? Remember under that last thing, it said trust. What player can we trust to get to the puck? Because when there's a loose puck, I need to know that my player has to get there. So that's the first thing I'm looking at. I'm looking up down my bench. Like, who can get to that puck first? Secondly, who can manage that puck once they get it? So I don't know if Nick's or, Brant, Kyler, Hunter, or Cam, any of you for that matter, are that player where you can get there first. And then when you get the puck, you can manage it. And manage it, I mean, keep it away from the other person that's trying to take it off you. And then 3, get your head up while there's more pressure that's coming. 4, being able to make a decision with that puck once you get it and you've separated and you've skated away from pressure. And then 5, being able to make that play. Who can I trust to do that consistently? Maybe it's someone that's done that consistently. Maybe it's a gut feeling that I have, or maybe it's somebody that's just on fire that day. But that's how coaches think. They think, who's done it consistently? What's my hunch? And is there anybody on fire right now? That's lighting it up this game. But can you get there? Can you separate from the other player? Can you keep possession of the puck? Can you skate away from that pressure? Can you make a play with the puck? Can you go to the net and shoot? So those are all the things that are kind of going through a coach's head. So if you're not on the ice or you're not there yet, remember those 5 things that coaches are looking for. Okay. Same thing with goalies and defensemen. You all have very, very important roles. Okay. So what did we learn today? What are the key takeaways from playoff mode? Who can name a few? And then we'll just have some 5 minutes here of chit chatting. Yeah, Nick.
Body language.
Oh, sorry. That's okay. You can come in second. Nick's. Yep.
Like body language and to not get down on yourself.
You got it, man. Body language screams. Remember, stay the course. I got this. Keep going. Yes, Tibbs. And then Marcus. And then Cole.
Don't be selfish.
Don't be selfish. Don't be that player that I want everything. I want to be good. I want to score. Don't be that ding dong. Play for the team and the crest in the front, right, Jer? There you go. What else? Cole.
Be the hardest worker on the ice.
Yeah. And that means being assertive and committing and going, like that clip I showed you, right? Of a couple of our players just moving their feet, not waiting, not just going, okay, where's the D going to go? He goes that way. Well, I'll go this way. Go. Direct pressure. Yeah, Hunter.
To properly assess your ability.
Say that one more time, buddy. Sorry, dude.
To properly assess your ability.
Yeah, just properly assess your ability. Stop pointing the finger at everybody else. You know, we all do it and we've all done it, but let's stop doing that. Let's try not to do that anymore. Let's look in the mirror. It's your career. You're the one that has to get better. You'll most likely never play with half of these kids again after a few years. And then you're on to a new team and a new level, a new coach, and new expectations. So let's knock off the boo-hoo, I'm going to blame somebody else stuff and think, what do I need to do to be there? Yes, I've got a cow kid in the top right. I can't see your face. It says Chris's phone. Who's that? Is that Dylan? Who do we got? Ah, nice.
A two-way player, like play at both ends of the ice.
I love it, buddy. I love it. Great answer. Play two-way, not just trying to score goals, but remember McDavid and his team there on that run, defense first, And that defense actually helps create offense. Anybody else? Yes, Marcus.
Do your part in the team. Like,
Great answer, man. Be the piece of the puzzle. Be the piece of the puzzle. You know, I see Shea Tethers on here. I know that he's a phenomenally skilled player with speed. Use your speed, you know, it's great goal scoring ability. But in order to score goals, you got to want that puck first, right? Get inside the dot lines. Take shots when you can. What else we learned? Yep, down in the corner here. Thanks, Aiden.
Play for your team, not yourself.
That's right, buddy. Play for the crest in the front, not the name in the back. Okay. Understand how your brain works too. Remember that perceived stress? It's overwhelming. Yes, Willie.
Feel good, play good.
Oh, you got to speak up, mate. Sorry, dude.
Feel good, play good.
Can't quite hear you for some reason. Your mic sounds muffled, but can you scream it one more time for me?
Feel good, play good.
Yeah, look good, feel good, play good. That's right. And that all comes to preparation, being prepared. That starts the day before, drinking, hydrating, eating well, journaling. What are your goals for the day? What are my process I can focus on? Good sleep, stretches, game face, right? All right. Well, we've got a couple minutes left. I'll stay on the call and answer any questions you have about me, about the program. I keep encouraging you to go on. Okay. I'm going to drop some new content soon. So you'll have some new stuff to watch and listen to, but get on there, especially when you're driving those long ways to the game. Start listening to all the articles and all the podcasts and videos, and keep using them in your back pocket. The more we read and listen and see these things, the more they become second nature. Okay. All right. So you got the green light to jump off if you want. If you want to stick around and ask me some questions or talk about your specific situation, I'd love to hang out and chat with you. Everybody good? All right.
Thank you.
Good luck in your playoffs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Corey.
All right.
Thank you, Corey.
All good, brother. All good.
Thank you, Corey.
No problem, boys and girls. All good. Stick
Thank you,
around.
Corey.
Chat. You're welcome. All good. Anybody want to hang around and chat? You got a personal question or something that pertains to you? Jared, do you have any questions? Will, what do you think, man? Oh, your mic, eh? You might have to type it into the chat. Where's my chat button? More.
Bye, Corey. Have a good day.
Oh, you too, Nix. It's always good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, see you.
Good luck, man. Let me know if you need me.
All right, bye.
Oh, I got a game at 12.
Thanks, Corey.
You're welcome. Always nice to see you, Bill. Had a boy, man. Good luck, brother.
You too, thanks.
See ya, buddy.
Goodbye, Coach Corey.
Oh, see you, Jer. Will, did you have a question, bud? Do you want to type it into the chat? Okay, yeah, because you're very quiet. Nice hoodie, bro. Well, what you're working on right now is helping you get to the next level. So the question is, what do I need to do to take my game to the next level? Well, it's funny you said that, because the other day I met a scout with the USHL. That's the big junior league in the United States. And that scout was saying how all of their teams used to prioritize skating. And a lot of them are changing from skating to hockey IQ and being able to think the game and manage the puck. And I know that you play D, and so does Charlie. So what I'm trying to help him with too now is being able to manage that biscuit. And when I say earlier, like coaches put players on the ice and they have to be able to get there first, separate, keep control of the puck, make a play, all of these things, those are things that you need to work on. So skating ability always can be improved no matter how old you are. Getting there to loose pucks and able to implement POP, we call it, position over possession. I don't know if you've ever learned that before. It's called POP, position over possession. So if you two are going towards the puck, what can I do to put myself in their way to establish position before I get possession of the puck? So we do drills in practice where I just flip out loose pucks and send 2 players, and they have to skate into their other player's lane and separate them and then go for the puck. So we call that POP, position over puck. Now, as a defenseman, you're going to need to do that all the time. Pucks dumped in your corner all game long. So make sure that you're shoulder checking when you go back. Get there, move your feet, give yourself a couple more seconds, and then establish position by cutting their hands too. If they have their hands on their stick like this, you can skate into their hands. It's called cutting hands. And then that establishes your body. You're skating into their lane, and then the puck will be there for you. And once it's there for you, again, on your horse with making another decision or another play with the puck. But that is the next thing for I would say between your age and the next year above you is being able to manage the puck, coming out for the breakaway or breakout rather, not just dishing it to your winger. It's about coming out, scanning. If there's pressure there, being able to elude them with an escape. Managing the puck means being able to hold it and make plays from those situations. But a lot of defensemen just come up behind the net. They just, make an outlet pass quick to the wall, or they rim the puck. We don't want to see that at the next level. No rims, no just flicks, no dump ins. It's all about possession and managing that puck. So that's something I would really focus on for you, is continue to improve your skating, which you're doing, and then managing that biscuit, holding on to it and making good plays and some escapes and POP like we just talked about. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Good, good. And you always reach out if you have a question for me. Okay, big guy?
Okay. Thanks.
All right, man. Do you have a game today? Tomorrow. Me too. All right. Well, good luck, Will. Say hi to your parents for me.
Thanks.
Okay, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.